Like many young professionals, Harriet and Richard were faced with a choice between pursuing a high-flying career or settling down young. However, after years of working long hours, a string of failed relationships and botched attempts at online dating, they found themselves worrying about whether they'd left it too late to find the one. Deciding to take drastic action, Harriet, a financial advisor, and Richard, a police sergeant, opted to sign up to Channel 4's Married at First Sight and wed a complete stranger that they only met for the first time at the altar. The Channel 4 show sees the couple wed in a romantic ceremony after undergoing vigorous scientific testing to find their ideal spouse. The couple looked awkward as they spent their first moments together, both as man and wife and total strangers, but their chemistry became clear thanks to a hilarious speech at the reception and a few tender moments. Harriet, 32, had longed to find the one after long hours at her London-based job stopped her from having a regular dating life and had been single for 5 years. She said, "After 5 years on my own, I do worry about finding the person I'm going to be with. I look at my friends settling down and I just think, why haven't I got that yet? And when is it going to happen?" She'd said that when she went to weddings, family members would ask when it would be her turn, and she was tired of telling them she was single. Experts including a sex expert and a vicar paired her up with Richard, 28, who works anti-social hours including nights and weekends as a police sergeant. He'd had 5 serious relationships and signed up to a dozen dating websites but had no luck finding the right partner to settle into his hectic life. Richard explained, "We work strange hours, we work evenings and weekends, and it does have an impact on relationships, but I'm definitely a romantic. The sort of love I'm looking for is the sunshine, the rainbows, the kind of skipping down the street at the end of the movie." The preparations for the big day, experts matched them together because of their desire to settle down quickly and their similar work ethic. They were given 6 weeks to prepare for their wedding, buying a wedding dress, suits and rings without knowing any more than their future spouse's name. Showing off his romantic side, Richard decided to make Harriet's wedding ring by hand as a symbol of his commitment to the process. When it came to their wedding day at a plush London hotel, the pair were feeling the nerves as a giggly Harriet walked down the aisle. The crowd laughed as she failed to contain her giggles and gave Richard an awkward hello as she joined him at the altar. Without another word, the pair exchanged their vows and became man and wife, but didn't seal their union with a kiss on the lips. Richard awkwardly touched his head against hers. After the ceremony, they were given their first few moments together as a couple, but an overwhelmed Harriet could only say "oh my God" as they left the busy chapel. Speaking to the camera afterwards, she admitted she was pleased with her new husband, saying, "He seems really lovely and kind, I have a really good feeling about it." Richard was equally impressed, saying, "First impressions are really good, she's really traditionally pretty, and she's really nice, she's got great sense of humor." He tried to ease her nerves, making joked about his name, referring to himself as Dick. At the reception, Richard tried to win over the couple's doubters by giving a very crude speech about their union. He joked that he was using the draft version of the words that he'd written before he met Harriet's parents Robin and Janet and found out their names. He said, "I'd like to thank Montgomery and Shaniqua. I can only imagine what you went through when Harriet said she was going to marry someone that called himself Dick, but having narrowly avoided having to do CPR when I told my own parents, I've got a pretty good idea." Both of their parents had been unsure about the experiment, with Richard's father Tony saying the legality of the marriage concerned him because if they split, the couple will have to divorce. Harriet's dad Robin was also doubtful, but was excited to see how the match would work in practice, admitting, "It isn't exactly what I would have thought of or dreamt of in my wildest dreams, but I think it is exciting, and I'm looking forward to it." Richard's reception speech appeared to win over the parents and helped to ease Harriet's nerves before the copper became more sentimental with his words. He went on, "Thank you for taking part in this experiment, and thank you for marrying me this afternoon. You've shown what an incredible person you are. You're brave and open-minded and optimistic." The couple had their first dance to Marry You by Bruno Mars and let loose on the dance floor as they became more comfortable with each other, and they finally shared their first kiss to the sound of applause from their families. Despite her earlier nerves, Harriet said she was glad she decided to wed a total stranger. She explained, "All my anxiety is gone now, and that's got to be a good thing. It's nuts. I didn't think I was going to get married, definitely didn't think I'd marry someone I'd never met, and now I have a ring of my finger." Harriet admitted that she wasn't sure about having sex with Richard on their wedding night, saying she'd wait until they got to the bedroom to decide if she'd go through with it. The rest of the series will follow the couple as they attempt to live as a married couple, documenting their day-to-day lives after the fairy tale wedding.